Hey, what's up? It's the Zim, and this is the Zim video, and this is volume 2, part 7 of my rideshare experience videos. And this week, I'm doing a little rideshare 101. We're going to break it down, and I'll tell you more about that later in the video. But for now, if you're digging on this video series, and you like what I have to say about rideshare driving, you should check out my podcast. I do a daily podcast, and since I'm a full-time driver, I often talk a lot about rideshare driving and tell stories about what happened in the day over there. You can find it on Anchor, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the places. So check it out. Oh, and we are at not 890 subscribers on this channel. Looking to get to that 1K mark so I can monetize the channel again. Yay! So help me out. Hit up the subscribe button wherever it is on your screen. If you're on mobile or on desktop, find it. It's in red. Click it. Do it. Also, if you want to kick down and support and help grow the channel and make these videos better and all that good stuff, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/thezim. Alright, let's get into it. I always do shout outs at the beginning of the show, and these are people, new engagers, people that have found the show and decided to comment, so new from last week. So we got Catherine Ponce, Jake Roberts, Matt Cook, Monica Camacho, Larry Cohen, are all the people from YouTube that had commented. And I wanted to give another, I probably won't do this every time, but this week I'm going to shout out to the Instagram people. Here's my Instagram page, but it's at Rideshare Zim. I've been getting a lot more people over there talking to me about stuff. And some of the more recent ones, Gabriel Anaya Jr., Uber Pensador, Boss Lady Ross 14, Unique Visions, V-I-Z-U-N-Z, and Will.Rondo. Thank you guys for being a part of this conversation with me, because it's the most fun, hands down, the most fun part of making these videos and doing it is when you have things to say about it, and you comment, and we have a conversation, and you add, if I miss something, you add something from your experience, because there's definitely a broad base of experience in how this job works. So I only have one viewpoint on it. I only have one experience of it. Your experience can hopefully help everybody. So comment it up. You know, even if you just want to say hi. I love saying hi. So do it up. All right. How much I made. Let's get into it. Oh yeah. On the side right there, there's two boxes. It's how much I made and the main topic. If you want to get ahead to the main topic quicker, just slide the timeline or click the timestamp in the description of the video, and you can jump ahead to the main topic. But for now, we're going to do the how much I made. This is how much I made this week. $1,286.29 was deposited in my account. I did go for the top tier power driver bonus again this week. So if you missed me last week, I did not publish a video because I was not working. I took a vacation, first vacation I've had since moving to San Diego. So a while. It's been a while. I needed it, and so I went for the full bonus because I wanted to make the monies, and I found that my body could handle it. I mean, I was just like, if you go back to the last 5 videos, and listen to what I had to say, every time I hit Saturday, I was like dying. I was just like, but this week, no problem. I made it all the way through. I worked 6 days, basically 24 rides each day was my basic strategy, or what I was going for, and I felt great, and it was a big part of it was because I took some time off. So consider that when you're driving, and if you want to become a driver, or if you're driving now and you're just feeling fatigued, maybe you need some time off. So check it out. What else? So that's what I made. My tips were 152. Really good on tips this week. I did not get any. So in my heads-up display, you can see I did not get any cash tips. And also, I'll mention now my heads-up display, my debt again went up. As last week, the last video I showed you, we talked about debt. My debt went up because I put all my vacation on the credit card, and I'm going to be paying it down over time. It basically, it cost me $800. I could pay it off right now if I went into my savings, but I don't really want to do that right now. So we'll see how things play out. I plan to put a good chunk on it after I get paid this week, the money I'm getting this week. I'm recording this on Monday night, so I don't get it till Wednesday morning in my account. But anyways, yeah, tips were really good. just, again, it signifies the importance of tips. If I did not get tips this week, you know, and the bonus, obviously, you know, I would have made around $800 for 51 hours of work, which is not sustainable. But luckily, when I get good tips and making the power driver bonus, I made around $24, $25 an hour, which is decent. It's okay. It's not the best. I've done better, but for this 145 rides, but it was okay. This is the daily breakdown. That's what I did each day, 6 days a week, basically 24 rides each day. Check that. On Tuesday I had obligation, so I couldn't do Tuesday all day, so I made up the rides. I missed, I was 7 rides off because of Tuesday, so the rest of the week I just made up for it on the weekends. This is where I drove each day in terms of hours, so you can see the hourly breakdown, and that's usually what I do for that. Alright, so now we're going to get into the main topic, and the main topic this week is I'm doing a Rideshare 101. I'm going to start a separate video series, I think, about rideshare driving. That's not going to include the stuff I just told you, and it's just going to be these snippets. I'm going to call it Rideshare 101 or something of that nature, and I wanted to start at the bottom line. So this is Rideshare 101, choosing a platform and choosing part-time versus full-time. And I think they go hand in hand. I think you have to consider both those concepts in order to make a good decision on what you want to do moving forward. And this is definitely for somebody who's a new driver, very new, or thinking about driving. So anybody that's watching this that is a current driver, been doing it for a long time, be sure to add your thoughts and ideas in the comments of this video so people that are considering this job can hear more of what people think about doing the job. So the bottom, I'm trying to pare this down as simply as possible. There's a lot of nuance in this job. There's a lot of different scenarios. There's a lot of different things, but I'm trying to look at it from the most basic point as possible. And the most basic way to look at it is you got 2 major platforms. You got Uber and you got Lyft. You do have smaller platforms in certain cities, such as I'm in San Diego and I have this one called Bounce. But we can talk about that a little bit in a moment. But you got the 2 major platforms, and the big difference between the 2 major platforms is Uber is the bigger of the 2, nationally still bigger. Lyft is gaining ground. They claim as of recently they're 35% of the market share for rideshare driving in the nation, and they also say that some markets they actually have more of the market. So things to consider, but Uber is by far still the biggest overall big umbrella of the market, of the companies. What that means, and what I've heard from other drivers, so I'm a Lyft only driver, but what I've heard from other drivers and from other people, just the word on the street about the 2 platforms is Uber, you get more rides, consistently, but you make less money. Lyft, you get less rides, but you make more money per ride. So that's what to consider. So in some ways, by the end of it, it evens itself out. So that's kind of the thing. Uber big, Lyft little. How are you going to do it? Which one are you going to decide? And I think it's important to consider how much you want to drive in that conversation. So let's talk about that. How much do you want to drive? Do you want to drive part-time or do you want to drive full-time? Let's start with the full-time scenario. You want to be a full-time driver. I think it's best to consider driving one platform full-time so that you can achieve the bonuses on that platform. As of right now, Uber's got a bonus structure called Quest Rides, and Lyft has a bonus structure called Power Driver Bonus. And from what I understand, they're both basically the same thing. The more rides you put in, you get bonuses based on the amount of rides. And it varies depending on whatever city, whatever market you're in. It'll be different. When you started versus, how long you've been a driver will change. So if you're a new driver, you're going to be a new driver. Somebody else I'll have a different scenario than you will, even in San Diego sometimes, because they keep people in older bonus structures as they evolve. They kind of grandfather them in. One of the big things is when Lyft first started back in the day, when they were doing a percentage of the ride was being given to the drivers, or taken out, I should say. Lyft was only taking out 20% of the fare and giving the rest of the drivers. That changed to 25% of the fare. And I think now it's actually, I don't even think that's, I'm not sure about this part. I should have researched it, but I think it's both companies, you're in agreement with a per mile rate. You're in agreement with the rate and the percentage of what they're charging the passenger versus what you get is a non-factor anymore. It's just you are in an agreement with making X amount per mile per an hour, not hour, but time of waiting in the car. There's a few things that you'll just have to research on your own on the different platforms. Maybe I'll talk about it in a later video. But so those are things to consider when being a full-time driver. I think it's a good idea to consider only driving one platform so you can get the bonuses on that platform. However, it all varies on what you want to achieve as well. If you want to be a full-time driver and you're really all about how much you make each day, there's this other idea of doing both platforms. So I think it's probably smarter if you're only working part-time. I'll get back to that each day thing. If you're only going to work part-time, it's something to consider to sign up for every platform you can, and just if you're only going to be working on the weekends and you're really not going to be able to achieve many bonuses because they tend to be, you put in lots of rides versus little amount of rides, you may consider working both platforms and just toggling between the two to see if you can cut down on the space between each ride request, and you just work both platforms. So if you're only going to work 1 day a week, just sign up for as many platforms as you can, and then just put them all on when you start driving. And the first one that gives you a ride, take that one, turn the other ones off, and just go from there and turn them back on every time you finish a ride. And that could be your cycle. If, like I was saying, if you don't care about bonuses, you're a full-time driver and you don't care about the bonuses, you want to make sure you're making the most money each day, because you're not sure maybe you're going to be able to work 5 days in a row of a week. Because I think, for my experience, most of the bonuses are most effective if you're putting in like 40 plus hours a week. So you're really dedicating a lot of time to one platform. That's when the bonuses make the most sense. So if you're not sure you're going to be putting 40 hours in a week, you're kind of below that, still I guess you'd be part-timing it. Then again, you're just looking for how much money can I make as in the smallest amount of time possible, then you should probably consider driving more than one platform. So that's the basic gist of it. Uber, more rides, less money per ride. Lyft, less rides, more money per ride. Bonuses, do I want to go for bonuses? Do I want to be a full-time driver and go for bonuses? Do I want to be a part-time driver and just get as many rides as I can within the short amount of time I can drive? And those are the things you should consider when choosing which platform to drive, or using both. Alright, hope that's helpful to you. That's the end of this video for this week. Let me know if you have any thoughts, if you have any comments for me. Be sure to hit it up in the comments, because I love comments. And if you want to follow along a little closer, Instagram account I have for rideshare driving. Check it out. I post something pretty much every day on my rideshare experience, mostly how much I made and things like that. I also, if you want to become a driver and you found this video because you want to become a driver, use my referral code ZIM200 on Lyft, and you can get a bonus, and I get a bonus. We both get bonuses, no matter what city you're in. Just check it out, put it in there, and then you'll find out how much more you can make for like the first 2 months of driving. Alright, until next time, be excellent to each other. May your rides be long and your tips be big.